I'm Dr. Sandeep Kumar. I'm a founder and CEO of My Small Network, and I also run a number of private clinics across the country under different brands. So I qualified as a dentist in year 2000. So I used to run 3 NHS clinics in Birmingham, and they were all working really well. But then, something had to give, what I wanted to focus on. So I decided to explore the opportunity of selling NHS practices, and that process started around in 2022. And so the transaction happened about 6 months ago, and today I'm here at one of the practices again talking about my experience. And just to see that they have actually did everything what they promised, that really makes me feel proud that, that was, yes, it was a tough decision, but it was a good decision. Guys were real, meant what they actually wanted to do. And I met some of my staff members and I spoke to them, and they're still here, still happy, and the place looks new and it looks fresh, and use their own way of doing things. And obviously, they have put their stamp. But for me, it's nice to stand outside and come in and have a look back and think, what, I've left my legacy in good hands. It was selling the practices was. I'm a firm believer of business is about people. So I had a couple of very critical people in my business. My area manager Sandra decided to retire. I had my clinical director. He's been with me over a number of years. He had some health issues. So for me, it was making a decision that do I want to carry on running the NHS practices, or do I focus more on my small business? I remember sitting down with my wife and just discussing ideas what we wanted to do. She was very heavily involved in running the practices, and we thought, what, let's just explore what is out there. So we spoke one of our lead guys so I know them very well. They came around, we sat down, and I made it really clear that people who I can trust, who I can see through. Yes, it's a financial transaction at the end of the day, but I need to be able to work with people who I can trust. Decision is one thing, and that's when the real process starts. And I'm not going to sit here and say, it was a walk in the park, it was easy. We had our, the due diligence process was very thorough, but I thought it was very fair. It's selling a business it's a financial transaction, but it's an emotional decision. And you want to work with people who are there with you, shoulder to shoulder, and want to see through the process with you. So it took us few months to go through all the process, and we worked together very closely. Few challenges, and we overcome and did whatever we had to do. And during that time when we were having discussions, my dentist guys made, not, I won't say promises, but they showed me they will invest in infrastructure, they will invest in people, they will invest in introducing new services. Was my dentist at that time, and I remember Simon from my dentist. He came and we sat down and we had discussions. And sometimes running in a business and meeting so many people, you just have a gut feeling. And I connected with Simon. He was talking a lot of sense. I could see that how passionate he was. And my area manager at that time, Sandra, who was with me as well, and we both thought he's the man. And the way he was talking about what my dentist vision was, how they were committed to look after the patients, how they were really giving me that assurance that they will look after my team, and everything will be happening for a good reasons. Everybody who owns a business, you will have this day one day. You will reflect on this and you will think, is it time for me to exit? Is it time for me to move on? And from my honest personal experience, for me it's very refreshing to see the people who make promises and they make all these commitments, but they actually seeing that through. So honestly, worth a chat with my dentist and see where that journey takes you. Finance behind this was the reason which I wanted to see how that could, but most important thing was, am I leaving my legacy in good hands? Is my people going to be looked after? Is my patients going to be looked after? These NHS practices, I've run them for about 20 years, and I just wanted to make sure that I leave that in good hands. And that was the reason I decided to work with my dentist.